And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Glad to have you along. And as Minnie Pearl would once say, I'm just so proud to be here. Wednesday, already March the 2nd. As you're waking up, it's kind of cool this morning. 34 right now, but it will change shortly. We're headed for a high of 75. It's going to feel like summertime. And as the week progresses, we'll get more into that forecast to let you know just how warm it will be. I'm seeing over 80. Now, let's not get over, what is the word I'm looking for? There's a possibility, and we hadn't narrowed everything down, that we could have some severe weather next week. As this gets closer, we'll develop all of this, but and watch the developments in the weather is what I was trying to say. But this week, enjoy the sunshine. We got some rain moving in, possibility beginning on Monday, and we'll do the breakdown as we get closer to the weekend as to what the weather holds for us. We certainly hope nothing turns out bad, but we are in that era of severe weather. So we'll watch that next week. Just a heads up for you. We want to say congratulations and we want to say good luck as we pull this up to Southeast, as they are going to be packing things up today at 11 o'clock. They will shut school down to head over to the tournaments in Jackson, Mississippi. The game is at 1:30. Costs $12 to go in. It's the semifinal state tournament. So we wish Southeast Lauderdale the best of luck on that. I hope they win. Bring back a trophy for us there. Always good to get to go to state and play, isn't it? We certainly hope that turns out well for them. And if you're traveling over, be careful. Jackson, Mississippi. All I'm going to say on that. As we begin our day, I do hope you had a great night. As we glance at radar, let's just glance at radar and just show you how good this looks before we get into all the headlines and things that are shaping America today. As we pull up the radar, absolutely clear. We'll see that there's a spot, and that's just a spot right there, of a little bit of fog. We have to go down near Victoria, Texas, into Corpus Christi across the big bridge, to get into the heavy fog. And if you've been down through there, you know what I'm talking about, that curve after you go across that and head up due north there. But that's what radar looks like in our immediate area. Texas having the most fog that we've got anywhere near us. Again, good morning. Let's start with a few things that happened overnight. Let's take a look here. A lot of talk about Quitman. The Quitman School District has released a statement. You can go to my website and read this as it was released yesterday, and this is what it is. There was an unloaded gun with no ammunition. I want to be very clear on that. It was just simply a gun, not loaded, no ammunition with it, found on campus on Monday afternoon late at the campus of Quitman High School. This letter details it all, tells you everything about it, of what they're going to be doing to handle this situation. At no time was any child in any danger, but still a gun was found. And as times change, that they're dealing with the situation. So if you've heard about it, didn't know exactly what went on, you can find it again at SAM Media Network. That's SAMEDIA.network. That'll take you there, and you'll be able to find out more about what went on with that. Interesting. Y'all remember back in the days, years ago, when I was a kid, you could have a gun rack in your truck. Things sure have changed, but over the ways of the world, and I guess we have to change to adapt to all of that. But that is a day that is gone, never return. Something that I've added that you might be interested in, as I brought up the web page there to where you can check on it, and I also put it on Facebook. We're keeping up now also with the Meridian Fire Department runs, and this is what it will look like. We'll have its own place before long on the website, but daily we'll have this report here. Just look for that picture, and then below that it will list how many runs that they made and where they went. That's a daily feature that we're going to be adding to this, so you can just keep up with things that happen in our area. As we have numerous police reports and all that affect you, I want you to know about these things, to where you can read in depth of what goes on overnight and things that, well, you just don't know about. You wouldn't know otherwise. So we're adding those. Let's see what went on yesterday. We did have a Fender Bender, and I got several reports of this yesterday afternoon, that it was possibly worse than what was said. I didn't get an actual picture of the accident, but as we go back and look at this was on Grandview and 40th Street. From what I understand, a pretty ferocious little accident. We still called it a Fender Bender, but it did block traffic there for a little while if you were traveling down that street there at Grandview Avenue and 40th Street. Held up things for a little while there. So let's see here what else we've got going on today on a local level. Now, you heard me bring up a about the gunfire the night before, not last night, but the night before, Monday night. And as daylight broke, we found out it was a little worse than originally thought. We did hear there were some gunshots on 36th Street. As daylight broke, the Meridian Police Department would end up blocking the street off for quite some time. Why? Well, there were shell casings everywhere. And this is basically a news story about all of that. It was a drive-by in the middle of the night. 4 homes were hit with gunfire, from windows being shattered to, bullets and brick and this, that, and the other. Now, no one was hurt, but that doesn't matter. And this marked the second night in a row that they had gunfire on 36th Street. It's sad that these things are happening. I've urged, and I still, if you don't own one, get out and get yourself cameras where you get pictures of these folks so we can do the right thing and get them arrested where they need to be. You should not be asleep in your home and have to worry about gunfire erupting outside and a bullet coming in your home. But all too often, that's starting to be the case, not only in Meridian, across the state of Mississippi. It's time to take back our state and make a stand on this and make the criminals go where they need to. That's what's going on with all of that. Again, that was the scene there. It was blocked off for a good hour yesterday as they collected at least 20 shell casings. That means 20 rounds was fired. We'll get into talking about Joe here in just a little bit. As we start looking at things around the state of Mississippi, a Jackson police officer's wife has been arrested. Well, that doesn't sound good, number one, that a police officer's wife is arrested. But the charge is even worse. It's aggravated domestic violence. And you go, okay, well, that's a name. Well, what happened? Well, tried to shoot him. She's been arrested. He's going to be all right. He was taken to the hospital and released. But what escalates into an argument to where that happens worries you, doesn't it? It does me as well. That happened in Jackson, though. As we go to North Mississippi, a Matheson lady was killed in an auto accident yesterday on Highway 82. And this time it leaves a 20-year-old female dead from a wreck. I hate to even report these things. It happened in the Center Grove community about 8:15 yesterday morning. That happened there. Someone has lost a child. Someone has lost a brother or sister. So horrible to report. Trinity Burton was her name. Feel sorry for that family. Also yesterday in Tupelo, there was a train accident that stopped traffic for quite some time. They're still investigating what went on, but involved a train yesterday and held up traffic at a train track for quite some time in Tupelo, if you were in the area in northern Mississippi also. As we go to Hattiesburg, we look around at what's going on in the state, and we see this happen here a lot. You hear me talking about people running from the police, and that happened yesterday. But why? Well, I guess there's just other answers for it. But this was a 61-year-old that ran from police. Well, of course, after being stopped, he wouldn't have driver's license and things of that nature. But 61 years old, you would think you know better. You would think of this coming from a 30-year-old or somebody like that, younger, a teenager. But no, full-grown adults breaking the law. 61. Do you ever grow up? It makes you wonder what kind of rap sheet the guy has. I don't have all that information and behind-the-scenes things. Was he guilty of other things? Was he scared? You never know who you're meeting on a highway, do you? You don't. And things like that cause these people that run and time to grow up. 61 years old. Have mercy. Now, as you saw the news yesterday, and this was widely spread, Jones County, Mississippi, which is due south of the Meridian area, there was a lady in a mobile home that got into an argument of some sort with another lady. She was shot in the face. She was rushed to a hospital, and they put out a bolo on a 38-year-old female in the state for her arrest that she had some type of connection with it. They did make an arrest yesterday for Melinda Allison Landrum. She was arrested. She was found in another home and arrested and taken back. She was more or less hiding out. She was booked into the Jones County Detention Facility, and she will wait for her first appearance before the Justice Court. Again, why do people do these things? We got some more of these stories nationally that make this stuff look like choir practice, but we're going over things that happen in the great state of Mississippi and a few of these things in Alabama. Here's something that I do like. And if you've ever called the police or you've had a neighbor, and we always hear about this, and it hurts my soul to think that a female can be harmed by a man. As we all know, being from the South, it's not right for any man to ever lay a hand on a woman. That's the way we're raised, and that's what I believe. And I believe probably 99% of the people that watch me have the same beliefs in that I do. A man should never raise a hand. If you're mad, you get up, you walk outside, you go somewhere else. Never lay a hand on a woman. But the Attorney General in the state of Mississippi is rolling out a new statewide domestic violence reporting system. What do I mean by that? What this will enable law enforcement to do, as well as they pull up on a scene, they would be able to pull up any information about that home or anybody that has been arrested in that home. Current pictures on the spot, not where they take it back and have to fill out 12 different reports. And maybe some of that doesn't get in there. This will be automatic from the scene of the vehicle. If they have a picture of somebody that's done something bad, they'll take a picture and upload it to where other law enforcement officials will have the most current picture of these criminals that do these things. I think that's good. Maybe it will save lives. How many times have we read these stories where there's been call after call and, well, nothing can really be done. We don't know a whole lot, and then someone is killed. So we're looking like this could be a step in the right direction of helping those who can't help themselves. Sort of an equalizer. Is that the word I'm looking for? So we welcome this. Maybe it will help save some lives there, and children as well. All too many times I have to sit here and tell you about, and we will talk about this, of what happened in California, I believe it was. It was Texas. A story coming up about that, where it wasn't. It didn't have a good ending on that. But that's working good for the state of Mississippi. We hope that that works out well there. This is some other stories that are happening as we go to Horn Lake, Mississippi. And I always believe in, as a moment ago I mentioned there about your tempers. A man went into a bank and he was kind of irate, I guess is the word. He got bent out of shape and started yelling. The tellers asked him to calm down. The bank manager showed up and, well, he slapped the bank manager. Things kind of went south from there, and he left, and they've got an APB out on him, and, well, they're looking to arrest him. Again, never let your temper. I know that sometimes a fee can be taken out of your account, and you're not happy about it, or a check didn't post, or whatever the case is, but it can be fixed. Never lose your temper in public like that. Now he'll have other issues to deal with as they sort through all of that. This is the third time recently as we go to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. It makes you wonder, is there more going on behind the scenes than we know? The Gulfport police chief is stepping down. This is the third one in recent months. He'll work 2 more months, and he's going to take over security at another place. Again, I don't know much about politics in the Gulfport area, but number 3 does make you go, huh, doesn't it? Good morning, Kathy Sharp. How are you doing? Glad to see you joining us there. Also, Reggie McKee is up. Mike Dallas, Joyce Godwin. How are you? It's Tennessee this morning. Beth Vick is with us. Also, Laura Lee. Billy Robinson joins us to watch the broadcast this morning also. We say good morning to Brian Guest. Good morning from Philadelphia, IA. Catherine Hoffer. Woohoo. Glad to see you. LaWanda Grantham is up also. Tyler Smith. Good to see you, my friend. Lamar Hembry joins us. Also, J.T. Rigdon is up. Janice Bounds, Terry Ray, and the list goes on of many, many people joining us. We always like to see your comment, and always a lot going on in and around the area, and a lot of folks watch from out of state and different areas across the United States. We've seen many cases of this as well, but an arrest was made. George County, Mississippi. This is one of those, Eddie Murphy years ago had a joke about, if you really want to go to hell, do something to a preacher or rob a church. And, well, here it is. We've got 2 that broke into a church and done some thieving, and they've arrested 2 of them. A 41-year-old Herbert Rouse and a 30-year-old female named Megan Suzanne Davis, charged with burglary of a church. Why would you want to do that? The house that the Lord hath made, and they want to break in. Really, I think am I wrong on that? It just seems so wrong. I know that there's other crimes that are bigger, but that just seems like, ooh, why would you do that? I don't know. I'm not a criminal. But those are some thoughts. Let's go over to Alabama. There's been a big investigation of this. If you go just north of Birmingham, there will be a little town called Brookdale. Now, they started out saying this was racist, and they had someone start investigating it. It was a little small town that, well, if you remember watching the Dukes of Hazzard, any superstar that passed through the town got stopped for speeding, whether they were speeding or not. But as they dug into this, they said, no, this is not racist. They were really fair on messing everybody up. They gave tickets to people, and then they would, is the word forfeiture, where they come in and they take your car, they take any belongings that you have in your car. They preyed upon the poor, is what the investigation is going. If they thought that you couldn't fight them in court, they would take things from you, seize it, and then sell it for the town. Everything in the town, that's where they were getting most of their money. And I think the town only had like 1,500 people. This is a very, very deep investigation. As they go, it's not over yet. They thought it would take 2 to 3 weeks to clear all this up, but it gets deeper and deeper. And the ending result of what they're seeing is it was fair. It was across the board, where you were white, black, didn't matter your race. If they thought they could get away with seizing your property, they did it, or writing you a ticket that you couldn't afford. It's deep. As this continues, we'll keep you posted. And again, that's just north of Birmingham. It's called bullying, is what they're wording this. And I've read these stories. Y'all seen this, to where they take, if you're going to buy, say you Saturday morning, you get up to go somewhere to go buy a tractor. You go to the bank and you take out $10,000 to go buy that tractor. You pass through a little town, and, well, they say that you might have been using that for drug money when you're really going to buy a tractor. And then it takes 3 to 4 years if you get your money back. There's cases of this to where things are abused and things like that need to be fixed. I think most people agree with that statement. We also find that Birmingham yesterday, this was a mess. Do you know the sharp curve where that little statue is over there? An 18-wheeler overturned with 45,000 pounds of chicken fat. Can you imagine how slick the road was? It was shut down for quite some time as they cleaned it up, and that curve is called Dead Man's Curve. Wow. Gloria Mean tells us today is baseball day between Mississippi State and the Golden Eagles. So whichever team you're pulling for, I wish you luck on that also. As we look at a few national stories before we get into the weather this morning, 41%. Did anybody get up last night or stay up, rather, and watch Joe's speech to America, State of the Union? Watched a little bit of it just to get a feel for it. Only 41% of viewers said that they reacted positive towards his speech there. It's the lowest numbers in 15 years since George W. addressed Congress in 2007. Now, again, this poll comes from CNN. Not a lot of people watch CNN anymore either. Their character has dropped down to about right here. Just telling you what I see this morning on all of this. Did you watch? What's your thoughts? We'll talk more about this coming up at 8 o'clock with me and Candace. We'd love to know what you're thinking. So hang close to this. We'll love to hear your thoughts on that. Also, your thoughts of Biden last night. Now, if you wondered where Biden was, and this is such a controversy across America right now, bathrooms, sports, men going to women's bathroom, women going to men's bathroom, and vice versa, men competing in sports that were born as a man and they were changed to a woman. And again, I don't know everything about this, but the headline reads, and if you saw any of this last night, make no mistake where Biden stands on the issue. His slogan and what he said last night was, Americans, I will always, transgender Americans, let me back up and say it right. He says, transgender Americans, I will always have your back so you can be yourself and reach your God-given potential. That's what he said last night. Now, the southern states have mostly been the first ones to step up and go, no, you're not playing sports with girls. It's not fair. No, you're not going into a bathroom where women are when you're still a man. How you identify that day. It's a big controversy in America. It's very divided. It's almost like a line driven down America as to what you believe and what you think. Where do you stand? Are you with the president or Joe? Or are you on that other line that go, no, I don't quite believe that? Whichever line it is, now you know where Joe stands without a shadow of a doubt after his comments last night. Also, this is every day, and you're like me, you either turn your phone on and you watch what's happening in Ukraine, whether it's on television, CNN, Fox, CBS, NBC or ABC, wherever it is that you watch your news. You see what's happening in Ukraine. They're being bombarded daily by Russians. We see that. The people of Ukraine have had to take to defending themselves, just regular Joes, have had to go to the streets with guns to protect themselves. Do you think a shotgun is going to protect yourself about 20,000 Russians coming towards you? Joe's speech last night included, so you think the deer are wearing a Kevlar vest. He went off script and went into where he wanted to ban assault rifles and could not understand why anybody would want a magazine that would hold 100 rounds or 20 rounds or 50 rounds. Has he not watched television lately? That is why so many people want these things. It's not to hurt your neighbor. It's to protect your home in invading countries. It could happen to anybody. Why do you think Japan did not attack America back in the day, the homeland? They did attack Pearl Harbor, but they did not come to the stateside. Why? If you go back and read history, it was that reason only, that Americans had guns. Joe made a mistake on that. That is truly, he answered himself there, why Americans want that. I'm going to leave that alone. Let's see here. As we look at this, he did confuse Ukraine and Iran last night in the speech. He stumbled upon that also. Thought you might want to know that. And this happened yesterday. A father of two was killed. Road rage. And we'll get into more of this during the 8 o'clock show. Someone cut him off. He jumps out of the car and reached his hand through the window at him. They shot him. He died. Should he have ever gotten out? Should he have just called the police? And we'll get into your thoughts on all of that. Sometimes it's just not best to do things of that nature, and he did. Who was at fault? Who cut who off? I'm unsure. All of that is still under investigation, but I did see the video where he reached his arm into the car to lay hands on who was there, and they didn't take it. They shot him. And again, I don't know who was at fault in the cutoff and what led to all of that, but now he's dead. It would have probably been better just to have called the police and backed off. That's headlines on in and around our area this morning. Hang close. We're getting ready to come back with the weather so you'll know exactly what's going on. And as always, we want to know if you see something, let us know. Send us an inbox, an email, however you can get us the message or a picture of something that's going on. We can add that to our broadcast each day to let you know what's going on. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We've got more to share with you this morning as we begin this day.
The back porch of Meridian is now open on Highway 19. Anything outdoors. Grills, fryers, pellets, and all grills come with free assembly. Whether you're looking for our cooler or custom woodwork, plus local beef, milk and ice cream from Beeson, products from Cyples Mills, spices, and a whole lot more. And don't forget to check out the She Shed, where you'll find authentic Louis Vuitton purses and more. And we can't leave out the spoon fudge. The back porch, Highway 19 North Meridian.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
And welcome to the Deep South, where, as Chuck said, right now you do need your gas logs this morning. 34 right now, and then you'll need what Chuck also sells. Now, air conditioner for this afternoon, 75. I'll be expecting that. Boy, yeah, we'll be making a new commercial with Chuck before long to tell you about air conditioner and tune-ups as we get into this warmer weather. All right, let's look at what we've got going on today as we go back and take a look here. Record highs and record lows. In 2012, it was 82. Wow, warm day. We may get near that before the end of the week there. Let's see here. Today's record low was set back in 1890. Not many of us are left. A man alive that was around during there, you would have some age on you. It was 19 degrees as they were keeping track of the record system back then. 1890, 19 degrees. Brr. As we look at today, it's going to be nice. 75 here in Meridian. As we go northward to Scuba, 75 as well. Over to Philadelphia, 74. Louisville should be about 74 on into Mississippi State as well. We'll go south of here. Hattiesburg, look at that. Sunshine everywhere, 76. Over to Vicksburg as well, on into Louisiana. They're going to have great weather also. Let's jump across that state line into Alabama and take a look at things. as well. We got 74 showing up in Livingston and through Geiger and Boyd, Alabama. Great weather there on Highway 17. Demopolis as well over to Montgomery, reaching 75. And even further south, it'll be a tad warmer there. Gail said it was 31 when she woke up this morning in Kemper County. Let's see. Fire danger. And we had a fire yesterday that almost got away up by NAS Meridian, by the gates there. There was a brush fire. It was contained in the end. Watch these fires as we see increasing fire day conditions through this afternoon. It'd be best to wait. We need a little bit more rain. Hold off on all of that and don't burn anything. Need local burn bans where they've got those. And it even goes into that. You don't think about that. How many times is a chain that you didn't hook drag the ground, or they're not hooked properly and they spark? Even something as simple as that can cause a fire. Just keep that in mind today as you're preparing. We look at our 6 to 10 day outlook, and we are above average here in the Deep South. From Louisiana, Texas, the eastern part of Texas, rather, all the way through Florida and up the Carolinas and Georgia. Warm, warm, warm. We've got to go out west there to see below average temperatures. Starting to ease in to northern Texas a little bit there. California is still under cooler weather. All right, let's look at our 7-day outlook and see what we've got planned for us as we look at this today. Sunshine, 75 everywhere today in the state, and Alabama as well. Perfect there, as we'll get down tonight to 41. Not bad at all. 0% chance of rain. Can't beat that. By tomorrow, we'll get 76, a little warmer. We'll end the week on Friday, payday, as the eagle flies at 78 degrees. We'll get a low of 52. As we get to Saturday, you get a day off, for most folks, that is, 81 degrees. Look at that. Only a 60. Pretty much the high that we had on some days there. The low will be 60 on Saturday night. Now, as we go into Sunday, things will start to make a little bit of a change. As we look at our forecast there on Sunday, it's a 20% chance of showers late in the afternoon. This will happen after church sometime is what we're looking at. And by Monday morning, we're headed into rain as we go back to work. So enjoy this week without the rain as you got it. And this will help next week with all of this burning of making everything not as crispy. But there is a chance, and we'll watch this again as you see both days so far into next week showing a 60% chance of showers. We'll watch this to see if this becomes a severe. I'm starting to read a little bit to where there is a possibility of some severe weather moving into the area next week. Too early to pinpoint it and say everything about it, but we're watching it. Here's what we got for the rest of the month there as we go to mid-month, the 16th. Highs in the mid-60s overall. We'll get some 70s there, but nighttime lows will average 40 to 45 degrees. That's just on an average there. There we go. That's what we look. All right, let's talk about fishing. A lot of people love fishing with warmer weather. It makes you want to grab a rod and reel and head out. As we go over to Chet's Paint and Body today to find out the forecast, and here's what we got. I hadn't hit the right button yet. There it is. Best times to fish today. We'll look for that next time. Will be in the afternoon from 1:30 to 3:30. I don't think you want to be up at 1 a.m. fishing. But the best time today to hit it will be this afternoon between 1:30 and 3:30. I've always heard that any day on a lake is better than any day in an office. That's what I'm told. What are the winds doing today? Calm southwest around 5 miles an hour there. So if you enjoy fishing, get out and do that. Let's take a quick look at radar before we get things rolling here and pull this up again as we look at across America. And, well, our area, we've already seen just how great it looks this morning. But here's radar again. As we pull this up, as we mentioned, fog down here into Corpus Christi area. We go up the eastern coastline. A little bit of fog there in South Carolina on the beach. We go up in here. Look at this. No rain or snow showing up in New York. That's odd. As we come across, we're going to get a little bit showing of snow there in Wisconsin and Minnesota, these areas here. And I bet it's above zero. It's 10 there today. Heat wave. As we come across a lot of fog in the Dakotas, and as usual, rain in the Seattle and Portland area. California, Sacramento looks good there. So overall, we give today a pretty good scoop there. Nothing bad there as we look. No storms. So that's a quick look at weather, and I want to say thank y'all for coming by. Right now, again, 34. We got some degrees that are about 31. We do appreciate you being a part of this. Can't thank you enough for taking part of this with us each and every day. We're going to be back at 8 a.m. Join us. You'll find out more of what's happening across the country and locally, all right here with Scotty Ray and Candace. Again, thank y'all for being a part of this and making this such a success. We'll see you soon at the Scotty Ray Report.
Scotty Ray's weather is brought to you by